What's up, Internet? Here today to discuss my love of sauna. The infrared sauna is fantastic. I'd like to talk about several of the benefits of uh, deliberate heat exposure.
It's like a sauna in here.
Obviously, there's the heat shock proteins. You've heard or read all sorts of studies and information about sauna use being linked to longevity, reductions in all cause mortality. And I will say that a lot of this and the studies and this information is around traditional Finnish sauna and not the very popular infrared sauna. Most of the studies have all been conducted on traditional sauna and not the new infrared. Most of the studies or benefits purported by infrared saunas come from infrared sauna manufacturers. So that's not to say that there's not a ton of benefit. I own one, I bought one, I have it, I use it, I love it, it's great. I find a tremendous benefit, first off, primarily mentally. It's great for stress reduction. There's new studies on occupational stress and how it relates to regular sauna use, and in fact, even just a single time sauna use showing improvements in benefits and a cascade of hormones and overall stress reduction. It's an exercise mimetic, so it mimics exercise, which is where you're going to find a lot of the additional cardio benefits. So, the first time that I really found out just how good it is for cardio is when I was recovering from an injury sustained training Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. It was pretty gnarly, and as a result, I was unable to do any kind of strength and conditioning work altogether. So there were no kettlebell workouts, there was no sprinting, it was pretty much walking, and I think even kind of walking was difficult. Again, pretty bad, time off the mats, time out of the gym, and by the gym, I work out at home, but unable to do that. So, part of that, I knew, or around the time, a place called Float Magic had opened up that had float tanks and saunas, and today I think they have hot tubs. They're up in Twin Falls, Idaho. If you're up that way, check them out. Beautiful, wonderful, traditional Finnish saunas. And I started going pretty regularly during the period of time I was injured. I was going somewhere in the neighborhood of like 3 to 5 times a week. And by the way, there you're renting time, which it ultimately became cheaper to buy one. I picked this baby up off of Amazon for probably somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,500, which sounds expensive, but really isn't pricey. A lot of these at home, even single person units are north of $5,000. So shop around. The problem you might find with that is they're likely not even close to being low EMF. This is probably high EMF. But I kind of weigh my options, and this is something that works for me and my budget and my price currently. I'd like to upgrade one day, but it's going to be quite some time before I buy one of those schwankier models. During the 2 weeks, I was using the sauna very regularly, and again, this is a traditional Finnish sauna, very high heat, somewhere in the neighborhood of 200 degrees, where the infrared sauna maxes out somewhere in the neighborhood of about 150. So again, most of the studies you've read are at these higher temperature ranges. 70 degrees Celsius would be the low end, and that is 158 degrees Celsius. So the infrared sauna doesn't really reach a lot of the temperatures that were actually studied when we talk about all of these ranging benefits of sauna. I've even heard additional research that the sweat that I'm sweating in the infrared sauna is different than the sweat that I would have sweated in a traditional sauna. And because of the infrared light and heat penetrating deeper into the skin, that it actually releases more toxins. That sounds kind of made up. I don't know if it is or not, but I still regularly use my sauna. It's really great for just kind of basic things in terms of workout recovery, right? This increases circulation unquestionably. Your body is sending blood from your core to the surface to try and cool you off, and with this blood is nutrients, right? Blood carries nutrients to the muscles and to the tissue. So this is a way to increase circulation. You have millions of small muscles that help with vasoconstriction and vasodilation to open and close blood vessels and capillaries to move blood around your body. This gives you practice, right? If you're just in a little 70-degree box 24 hours a day, right? You wake up at home, AC set, get in the car, set the AC, get into work, climate controlled, and do it all over again, but in reverse. right? We don't get exposed to heat or cold on a regular basis, unless again we purposely do it, or other than that, it's pretty much more walking to our car. So this is a really good way to mimic what we would experience in nature as humans. As humans, our biology expects temperature variation, right? Standard steady temp is highly unnatural and highly unusual. And I believe that that comfort is actually hard on our vascular system. Wim Hof would agree. If you are familiar with the work of Wim Hof, he does think that a lack of these types of thermal pressures, these exercises, contribute to the number one cause of death in the entire world, and that is heart disease or cardiovascular disease. So I do love getting cold. I love getting hot. I do like to time my post-workout sauna time, or I like to save the sauna for my post-workout. I don't like to do cold post-workout. That's actually got some downsides in terms of hypertrophy. You might not want to do an ice bath prior to your strength training or your hypertrophy training, but you would rather instead want to do your cold exposure prior to your strength training or your hypertrophy training, and then follow it at the end with sauna. Right, this is a good way to recover from exercise, reduce post-exercise soreness, increase recovery, and make it to where you can kind of get back to lifting or back on the mats or whatever your sport is that much faster. So I do think the sauna is awesome. I think it's great. I highly recommend it. There's a tremendous benefit that you get from the discomfort, right? This actually gets you a little more comfortable with being uncomfortable, which has its own benefits that would again cascade throughout your entire life. Learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. The sauna, again, it's awesome. Find a way to pass the time, listen to an audiobook. I'm fortunate to have a TV out there so I can catch up on the latest episodes of The Witcher or whatever it is, from the comfort of my sauna, which will make it easier to kind of put in some time here. But if you do have a chance to try it out, I'd suggest you go for it. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like what I'm doing here, please like, subscribe, watch a video, click a link, leave a comment. Thank you very much for stopping by. Appreciate it. You have a good weekend.